Hello and welcome to Thompson. My name is William Lebowski and welcome to Italy. We are at Misano here. It's definitely an underutilized track in sim racing, and I think the word down the pipeline is that there's going to be some big updates coming to ACC soon. So one thing that I really wanted to do is get some seat time in the NSX, just because I've got a hunch that the NSX is going to be one of those cars that's going to be BOPed and it's going to be nerfed just because of how prevalent and how popular it is. And in addition to that, they're also going to be working on patching those Mickey Mouse setups. Quite frankly, I'm not good enough to fully functionally understand what a Mickey Mouse setup is, but I certainly see a lot of the guys who would know what those setups are, to know what those hacks and meta tricks are, driving the NSX a lot. So I just kind of wanted to jump behind the wheel, see what it was like, because I didn't really have that much seat time. It is very comparable in my eyes to a McLaren, a lot more than I thought, so somewhat of a McLaren Ferrari kind of combo thing that I wasn't expecting anyway. I'm sure that opinion is wrong. Enjoy the race, I certainly did, and have a great day.
Not a perfect opening by any means, but it's good enough that I think I'm hanging on with this group that's making a little bit of a break here on the rest of the field. So I think as long as I'm able to stay with these guys, maybe that'll mean success for me. Let's see, that was a way early checkup by me. But yeah, it looks like we're putting a little bit of a dent into the rest of the field, and I definitely want to hold on to that. Because I really out-qualified myself in quali, and I didn't expect the result that we got. And quite frankly, the AI setting that we had been at, the pace that I had been running, had been leaving us midfield at best. And so that's kind of the race I was expecting to have, just that midfield slog, just to see what you can, how many places can you make up. But it seems like now, oh boy, that's bad. How is that just a track limit, but not a warning? Anyway, but it seems like now I'm at that point where I can yo-yo off the back of off the leaders. So we're gonna hang on to that for now before we up ourselves in the AI. But I do really like Misano, even though it might not be the most raced track, just because it is technical and it is fresh and keeps you on your toes. And it keeps you learning a new skill set, because it is definitely a different type of technicality. Like I don't think you see this type of technicality at Spa. I think Spa is a lot more straightforward than a track like this, even though that this track is flat. It has slight amounts of elevation, or not elevation, slight amounts of banking. I mean, being an American, it's hard to call it banking at all. But certain corners do have, like this corner does have a little bit of banking to it, just a little bit. And some are completely flat, so there are huge variations, and you can't treat every corner the same here. And if you'll notice right there, we can take a lot of curb. Turn 2, you can even eat those sausages. And so it's just really interesting here. It's like an Italian Sebring. I think they were going to look to the inside on us a little too late. I think we just had a little bit of a door bang. All right, well, we have secured a podium position there. Well, secured implies that we can't fumble it. Oh, accidentally lifted our foot while repositioning our other foot on the throttle. Was doing a little bit of a left-footed accelerating there while I repositioned my right foot. Anyway. Let's get up to these leaders here. I want to be part of this battle for first place. So already on lap 2. I really like where we're sitting. All right, we'll just have to make sure on this back straight right here, that's going to be the gotcha zone for the rest of this race. If we can keep it in check there, we can have a successful race here. Let's not forget to eat the curb and the sausages. Like a full English. This track is a full English because you can eat all the sausages. Oh. I don't think curbing, though, is very popular in the English. Uh-oh. I got way late into that braking zone accidentally, but it worked out okay. All right, so it looks like the pit window has opened. The undercut has never worked for me successfully in ACC, whether it be multiplayer or whether it be AI. So I'm not going to try it here again and get burned. So the two strategies that we're going to go with, we haven't totally decided yet. We will we'll make the game time decision as it occurs. Way too late in there. Wow, holy crap. But plan A would be to pit with these two leaders. If they pit at the same time, I think plan A would be pit with them, just because that is the best first strategy, keeps us directly in competition with them, and as well as the most amount of excitement, because you don't play that guessing game of, oh, is it going to line up? Will it, won't it? And you get the most amount of time racing them, and in only 30 minutes of, in an only 30-minute race, you just really kind of want to spend the most. Okay, so that dropped us down into 8th position. I just gave that corner its warning too, isn't that funny? It actually would have been good to pit there because our tires are super hot from that. So yeah, that would have been a good time to take our pit stop actually. But it looks like we're not, so let's continue with what I was going to call strategy B, but we hadn't gotten there yet. And that is running until our tank is empty. Considering the whole race is only a half hour, I figured, oh, now I'm just overdriving because I'm angry. I figured it would be not a good idea to really fill up all the way, or at least as much as we would need for the whole race, just because it seemed like that would be a little bit excessive. And I knew we were going to have to stop at some point, so I did leave enough in the tank to go pretty far into the race. I got to stop overdriving at this point. To go pretty far into the race without having to pit. And so I think we should just try to camel it as far as we can now. Let's cool down our tires still. It looks like everybody around us. We can see even up to the leader's pit indicator. And we can still see that everybody in front of us still has yet to pit. So it's okay. I mean, that's not a race-ending mistake there. Terrible, yes. Bad, yes. Is it going to cost us in the end? At some point, yeah, I'm sure that means we can't win this race anymore. But at the same time, it is definitely not a race ender, and it certainly doesn't mean we can't do well. We started 3rd. I still think a podium is possible, but we're only sitting in 5th place right now. We didn't get any damage as far as I can tell. I haven't checked the official pit yet, although I don't need to introduce that into my driving at this point. So, I mean, the car is handling fine. I have no concerns about that other than the loss of time. Okay. And it looks like our tire pressure and temperature has gotten back to the point where it's been recovered. We can start pushing it again. And we still have 16 minutes of pit window in front of us. All right. Just keep our head cool. Hopefully we can make our way back up to that Porsche. Instead of having to defend, it would be cool to get on the offensive again, because that was, not gonna lie, I was really enjoying our position sitting in 3rd place there. I guess we're only in 4th place right now, so I guess, is it the Lambo that we were following? It looks like the guy in 2nd place must have pitted. Sorry, must have pat, the past tense of pit. So yeah. I don't think it's over, and it looks like our strategy is actually still set. We're going with strategy B. Option B, and it looks like we're still okay. We're 12 seconds, 10 seconds off of first and second. Control yourself. We are 2 seconds off of third place. That was bad. So we lost ourselves about 10 seconds, plus however many more we're going to lose being an ass and overdriving our car into these corners. Take the sausages, just take them. Okay. So let's get that time back. And I still think we're actually sitting, you know what, now that I'm thinking about it and I'm doing the math, I think we're actually sitting golden for our strategy of pushing as long as we can. Our pace is okay. If we stop over driving, our pace will be fine enough to make this strategy call work. So yeah, we're 10 minutes into the race. We made a huge mistake, but our strategy is sold. So we got 18 minutes now to just put it down into place. Our goal right now is to drive these tires off, no pun intended, because we've already put in a huge slide on them. But so yeah, just take these tires for all of their worth, especially since it's such a short race. And the pit window is only 13 minutes longer. See, they ran a 138 flat. We're running a 138 flat. Not only that, we're going the same speed to the 100th. So, pretty even competition. Can't complain about that. Just means that it'll be a little bit harder to catch that car in front, especially if I'm going to be a tit in Sector 1 again. All right, we've lost a lot of time now in that driver in front of us. Not taking nearly enough curb on the entry, and that was a very, very sloppy exit. I'm not trying to be too like negative and nitpicky about my own driving. I am just trying to make that stop happening. Oh, it's getting frustrating. All right, so everybody's still yet to pit. Let's see what these guys are doing. With 12 minutes left in our pit window, with our chosen strategy, I don't think I've seen anything yet, even if everybody pit right. Ooh, actually, that would be an audible that I would love. If everybody goes into their pit right now, I would totally jump in.
Clear on the right.
All right, but everybody stayed out. We're at least the guy in front of me. That's sloppy. That's sloppy. Ooh, I didn't get an opportunity to see the guy's lap time ahead of me. I'm sure it was faster than me that last lap. I made a lot of mistakes there. That's better. So 3.8. Let's try to get inside of 3.8, because that's where he is right now. We still got 10 minutes on our pit window. Got a little bit of a group behind us. Just brake a little bit earlier going into that corner, and that's all we needed. There we go, from 3.8 to 3.7. So 14 seconds ahead. We've lost 2 seconds to the leader just from being a tit. Cutting the curb as much as we can. Like I said, you really can. All right, so leader goes to pit now. So now this is the time we need clean and accuracy, because that translates to speed. But we really can eat a lot of curb here. So let's focus on getting into the curb in our apex as much as possible. because now it's me and the Porsche. So we really need to focus on putting in time on the guys behind us. And we're only at the halfway mark now, and the people in front of us have already pit. So we're sitting fine. This is a good place to be for our strategy. For this point in the race, this is an excellent point for our strategy. What would be, so where it looks like there's some lapped traffic ahead of us, some people that went for the undercut and must have been slow or made a mistake or gotten an accident or something, because I don't think there's any way we should be catching anybody at this point in the race for any reason other than misfortune. So 4.5, I feel like that guy went from 3.8 to 4.5 really quickly while I was still trying to put good laps out. All right, so 4.5, look, it's going down, it's going down. Although this guy behind me is getting closer and closer. I think this Lambo was ahead of us, well, duh. But I think he was just recently ahead of us because of pit strategy. So I think, now that I'm looking at it like that, I think maybe his pit stop timing would have been, oh, that's really wide, would have been superb. Oh, it's not, because they just went into pit, so they were definitely behind me. 138.1 is what the guy in front of me is running, and I just ran a 138.3. So we got to find 2/10 if we want to make this even plausible. Ideally, we would want to find more than that, and I think we just saw someone escape the pits. No, not, at least not in front of us, we didn't. Because everybody on the relative is pretty low on the standings. All right, so we still got just under 8 minutes of the fuel window there, or sorry, not the fuel window, the pit window. We're down to 3.2 from 4.8. Maybe lap traffic is going to work into our favor a little bit here as we catch this car ahead of us on the straight. No, we're going to catch this car at a very inopportune time now that I'm looking at it. But hopefully it'll just end up working out okay for us and this guy in the lead that we're chasing down. A little deep there. I feel like that should have been a warning, not just a track limits. So we got 3 laps of fuel left in us. Car in front of us is also, seems like we're on the exact same strategy, just push how far we can. 6 minutes, okay, so they did 139 flat, we did 138.6. So we gained 0.6 on that guy this lap. That's solid. I did not get through that last complex of corners well. That was really bad. So 3.6 now, the gap ahead of me.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yeah, Ferrari could have buggered off just a little bit more if you were going to try to give me that room. So it's just me and him now, mano a mano. Mano di mano. All right, our pit stop is ready to go. Sorry, I was checking my pressures there. I think we're going to see him pull in this lap, though, which is why I made sure to get my pit stuff ready. All right, they're not. I feel like maybe we should go for the undercut on them at this point or something. Yeah, we're going in next lap no matter what. which if they didn't go in this lap, I'm sure we will be now matching them in strategy. Just getting to a certain point, though, you want it to be... You know, but should we go with the complete gamble? I was going to say, because if we play it wrong, it leaves us no time to make anything up. But should we go with the complete gamble then and just go to the very end of the pit time and make our... Ooh, it's very tempting with low fuel. We could probably set our best laps. Oh, this is very tempting. See, I can't tell, but it looks like we're kind of pulling this guy in front of us, too. I do think we have to pit here no matter what. I think if we want a chance, we have to pit here. We're all, yep, we're pitting. Ooh. Oh, that just gave us 6 seconds of repair. Oh, and we weren't quick enough to be able to stop it, and so now they're already up, and we just went up. They're at least going to get the win. Come on, come on. So we're sitting in 4th place. A couple guys just went by that hadn't pit yet, being Nicky Thin. Oh no, we're all on pit road. Valentino Rossi's now coming up 10 seconds. Oh, and I'm stuck here for 13. So Valentino Rossi's going to win this race. At least he's going to beat me. Oh, these final 6 seconds have been so painful. So Nicky Thim gets out in front of me. Oh. And the Porsche. So it looks like we're gonna lose mighty on this one. Let's see, there's still 7 minutes left. Let's see, it's very possible that we're gonna get ourselves involved in a shootout, but man, we're outside of the top 10 now. Oh. Let's see, is there gonna be anybody?
Yellow flag ahead. Charging front.
Yo, yellow flag ahead. I'll take that.
Class leader is pitting now.
All right, so those guys that went by us that hadn't pit had just pit now, and we're sitting in 13th. There was 4 of them, so it's possible we're looking at like 9th just on strategy and pace. But if we can catch up to that group, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then 5 is just in front of them. Is that Vanderland? Vanderland's car, at least. That's the guy that we had, I think we started next to him. So maybe this is a good sign. Maybe there's more people that haven't pit than I'm anticipating. Okay, come on, come on. We're kind of pulling them in a little bit. At least I'm being optimistic. Trying to think we are. Keep the momentum going through on that corner. Try to get the curb on this one. Not as much of it as I wanted. See what's happening down pit road as we go through. We still have the last 40 seconds. Oh, nothing good. All right, so this is where we're at in the race now. This is where we're at, okay. There was that Porsche that went in front of us.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
All right, just outside of the top 10. Oh man, we at least got to get ourselves into the top 10. That Porsche, we've been sitting behind them for so long. I just can't finish. Just can't finish behind them after sitting behind them for so long. And it looks like nothing else is going to happen from pit stops and pace. Oh, we're setting ourselves up well here. There we go. Slingshot engaged on the fastest part of this track. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Okay. Now we got to catch up to Nicky Thim's car. Is that? I very much am feeling the pressure right now because I thought we'd be sitting way further ahead. And we're just not. I don't know. I thought that pit stop was going to work out much better for us, but I guess I forgot out about all the cars that just pit in front of me like they weren't going to come back or something. Let's see. We had to stifle our little bit of a run here. Let's see what happens. Into the inside. Thankfully, there's a lot of curb there. Oh! Somehow we made the outside work there. I don't know. I wish that AI was going to put up a little bit more of a fight. Because that very well could have been the last position that I just fought for this race. I don't know. That's usually some sort of jinx you just play on yourself if you say something like that in a video. Although we're looking at 3.5 seconds and 3 minutes left in the race. 3.5. Ooh, that's some grass. We're looking at 3 minutes left in this race and 3 seconds to the car in front of me. It just wouldn't seem very likely that we're going to make it up any further. So it just now is becoming a game of defending. So yeah, a little bit of a bummer that that car didn't put up more of a fight. There we go, proper amount of curb on both entry and exit on the final corner finally. Okay. 6/10 slower than the car ahead of us last time around. Let's see if we can beat that. Let's move up on them. Oh, ugly amounts of wide. Very ugly amounts of wide right there. Looks like everybody's running pretty spaced out. It doesn't look like there's any close racing happening at any point anymore, at least not from what I can see directly in front of me on the Delta. Guys behind me are pretty close, but for outside of the top 10, I'm not sure. For outside of the top 10 in an AI race in ACC, I'm not sure anybody but me cares how close they are. But that Porsche was ahead of us all race. They had the better strategy going into the pits. I guess they just weren't pushing their tires as cold. Okay, so leader on the final lap. We have reduced the size of the gap to the car in front of me. But I don't think now that we're on our final lap that it's going to be that kind of size. Now, yeah, 5/10 faster. We were 6/10 last lap. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ooh. That was almost really bad. Surely we were going to get a warning for that. And I was like, you know, it's fine on the last lap to get your first warning. Not really fighting. All right. That was really bad. That was really ugly, but doesn't doesn't matter a whole lot. All right, it looks like everything's coming. Oh, I just checked our fuel, and I should have been a little bit closer during scrutineering, because we are, good thing this race is our last lap, because we're not going to have much fuel to run any further. I guess we probably could have pulled out one more lap after this one. But we had just enough fuel to get us to the very end, which means we were running as light as we could, which means we're running as fast as we possibly could. This is just as good as we were going to be able to pull out today. Although it seemed like we could have done better at a certain point, qualified much higher than this. So on pace, must have pretty much disappointed ourselves. But anyway, this is what I love about ACC. It's not like we won, and I don't have to win to have a good time in ACC. It was solid racing. I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure that's why everybody else is looking forward to it. Set a course of 2. We'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate it, and I hope you guys have some great racing.